healthy lifestyle motivation. So a lot of people, when they find out that I've quit sugar, are like, so do you never eat anything sweet? Do you never eat sugar at all? How do you do that? Today, I wanna talk with you about 3 easy, better for you sugar alternatives that you can use in replace of brown sugar and white sugar and fake sugar. Plus, I'm gonna share with you one sugar alternative that many people think is healthy that I never eat. So real quickly, if you've watched my Hidden Sneaky Sugars video or my How to Quit Sugar video, you know that there's sugar in everything, in all the foods we eat. There's naturally occurring sugar. Like a carrot has 2.9 grams of sugar, or an onion has about 4 grams of sugar per serving. That is the type of sugar that we want to be eating. We want to have more naturally occurring sugar, and we want to reduce that added, especially processed sugar when we can. And there's some really easy ways to do that. My 3 go-to sweeteners are coconut sugar, raw honey, and pure maple syrup. And I use those pretty much exclusively. So let's go ahead and briefly break down each one of those and why they're better for you. Coconut sugar is low on the glycemic index, which means a lot to us because that means it does not spike your blood glucose levels very much. Coconut sugar has a ton of antioxidants and other nutrients because it's a naturally occurring ingredient, and I use it pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio. Whatever you would have like brown sugar for or even white sugar, do 1-to-1 ratio and you are good to go. Raw honey is honey that has not been pasteurized or processed. So it still has the bee pollen and beeswax and royal jelly and all of that goodness that people have used honey for centuries. Raw honey contains antioxidants, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, just all sorts of good stuff in there. You need to make sure when you're buying honey at the store that you're looking for the raw, unpasteurized, unprocessed honey, because otherwise, if you heat it up, it's gonna lose all of that stuff. So you wanna make sure that you're looking for unfiltered, unprocessed honey. And I use raw honey as a 1-to-1 ratio for any liquid sugar, so like anything like a honey or a maple syrup or something, or even a corn syrup if you're changing it out. It works really well that way. However, I try not to use raw honey when I am baking or adding heat to it because the higher temperatures will break up all of those enzymes and all the other things that are nicely in your raw honey. So pure maple syrup is awesome. It can be cooked at high temperatures. It can be used as a replacement for honey or high fructose corn syrup or anything liquid. It has a ton of antioxidants and nutrients. It's good for your digestion. It's low on the glycemic index, which, as we talked about a second ago, means that it's not gonna spike your blood sugar levels or give you a crash after having it, which is a big deal. Pure maple syrup has even been shown to reduce inflammation and help manage your blood sugar levels. So it's a much better alternative than regular old white sugar or even regular maple syrup. Also, it can be used as that 1-to-1 ratio for anything liquid. It's great in coffee if you want to add it to your coffee. And it's a really good option for vegans who choose to not have raw honey. So you have all your bases covered there. All right, so you may have noticed that I didn't talk about agave nectar or agave syrup, and that is because I never use it. It's one of those natural sweeteners that everybody talks about as being really good for you. However, it's not. It's not a good option. And the reason why is because it is primarily fructose. It's very high fructose. And what that means is that it's not gonna spike your glucose levels. But the problem is that high amounts of fructose is not good for your system. Just think about high fructose corn syrup. It's not something you wanna be having, and that's essentially what agave nectar is. So high amounts of fructose in your system over time can lead to fatty liver disease, insulin resistance, and basically leave you in a lot of trouble. It's also associated with increased levels of LDL, which is the bad type of cholesterol, which can add to your risk of heart disease. So that's why I prefer those other 3 options and why I give agave syrup a big thumbs down. So that all being said, while those 3 options are better for you, they are still added sugars to your food, so you wanna maintain moderation when you're having them. You don't wanna just go crazy thinking that, oh sweet, this is super healthy. They contain calories, they could add to weight gain over time, they could add to you having more of a sweet tooth and then craving more things. Also, when you approach your recipes, just try to every time remove a little bit of the sugar that gets added to it. If it calls for 1/3 of a cup, add a little bit less and see what happens. Over time, your taste buds will get used to having less and less sweetness. To get started reducing your dependency on sugar, check out my video on the 7 steps I took to finally quit sugar and how you can too, and I will see you in the next video.